So let's have a look at these ear pieces. It's basically a similar process. First, we're going to check and make sure there's no sort of gaps with the different components. So, masking and selecting various polygroups. Just use the gizmo tool to move these into place, make sure that create a mesh with no holes or dodgy parts. So using the head as the subtractive or cutting object, we'll just pop it down the subtool order down the bottom, activate live Boolean, and click the subtractive mesh button. This will give us a good preview of what the Boolean will do. Again, we'll just check around that for any potential issues. And when I say issues, I'm talking about like small areas that might be hard for this ZRemesh process to resolve. So I've subdivided this up and Booleaned it. But in this case, we can see that there's a problem with the resolution of some of the components being at different levels. So the tube extending out is a different or lower resolution than the rest of the components. So we could go back and fix that in the prior to the Boolean, but in this case I think it'll be fine just to ZRemesh at a high resolution. I just try using creases here, which doesn't work, and also then dropping down the smooth group option slightly to see if I get a better result. This works. Still soft in certain areas, which we will try and fix using a reprojection to get that sharpness back. An alternative at this point is using the modeler tool or taking your model via FBX into Maya and fixing the topology there. But let's first try the reprojection. So make the original subtool visible, clicking the eye icon, and then go down to our project options under the subtool palette. We might as well click color off as there's no color going to be projected, and the default settings should be fine for our first projection. Just make sure the subtool that we want to take on the projection is subdivided up so that it has enough resolution to get the sharp corners and crevices. Click project. So that seems to have worked. Let's append this back into the original Z tool with all the different components. Now we need to deactivate the head as a cutting object and then go back to the Boolean mesh, and we'll delete those subtools from that menu, so it will remove the Z tool from our Z tool panel. The reason for doing this is so when we start working on the next components, we don't end up filling this panel with various components, and we keep that clean so it's easy to track what we're doing and what we're working on.